Hey Jacob, welcome back. Sorry for cutting that video short. Let's continue. We just discussed that the author or the sage that it was ensured with the transmission, because the Torah is so massive. Different sages, I guess, were more like specialists or like the authorities, because the way that the sages would teach is they would teach a few sages specific tractates or specific things, and then the students would be responsible to share that information with each other, the different things that each one learned, and like this spread the Torah and preserve it. But anyway, Unkilus, the convert, was the one to ensure that the meaning of the Torah is transmitted from Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. And here we could add Achilas, the convert, who was like Unkilus was the nephew of Titus, Achilas was the nephew of Adrian, or whatever, another amazing convert, and he wrote the Targum in Greek for the Torah. Okay, I don't know if we have any remnant of this, but Unkilus wrote it in Aramaic, the transmitted meaning of the Torah. Achilas wrote it in Greek, from Rabbi Eliezer, also from Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yoshua. They were all at the same time. The Targum of Nevi'im is Yonatan ben Uziel, who was this giant in his own right, as we said, and he said this. He transmits the transmitted meaning of the prophetic writings, the middle section of Tanakh, which is half explicit, half cryptic, right? So he transmits that, the Targum, Mipi Haggai, Zechariah, Umalachi, from the mouth of Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, like as if directly from the prophet's mouth, the last three living prophets on earth, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. It's called Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, I guess, in a translation. But again, pronounce them how they're meant to be pronounced in their original, B'ezrat Hashem. And we'll learn that Malachi is aka Ezra the scribe, Ezra Safra, Ezra the scribe. Okay, and we'll learn more about Ezra and who was the student of Ezra, who received the tradition from Ezra, and then who taught Yonatan ben Uziel, B'ezrat Hashem. We'll see all that. Okay, so it says Targum Shel Nevi'im, Yonatan ben Uziel, Amoro mipi Haggai Zechariah Malachi. Yonatan ben Uziel, the greatest student of Hillel Hazaken, is transmitting this as if from the mouth. The tradition is from the last three living prophets themselves. Who better to walk anyone through the words of prophets than the last three living prophets themselves? And what happens? It says that something happened when he started to write it. It says V'nizda'azeya, which means, as you could tell visually, we tried to make it so that the definition is seen in the word itself. Even without this, the Zayin Ayin is like Za'azeya. It's trembling. It's fluctuating. V'nizda'azeya means that the world began to tremble, or really Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, began to tremble. Why specifically Israel, or where is this referring to? But anyway, it's as if like a gigantic earthquake shook the earth. Arba me'ot parsa, 400, a measurement of 400, miles for our purposes, kilometers, however, for our purposes, it shook this distance, whatever even this means, or like the distance of the land, 400 by 400. Al arba me'ot parsa, this huge area of Israel started to shake when he began to write it. Yatzta bat kol, literally a daughter of a voice, but it could be like an echo, a heavenly echo emerged from the heavens, saying, Mihu zeh shegila sitrai livnei adam. Who is this that revealed my secrets to the children of man, to reveal my children to humanity? Reveal my secrets to humanity. So it says, Amad Yonatan ben Uziel al raglav. Yonatan ben Uziel stood up on his legs. Why say it like that, right? Stood up, we already know that it's on his legs. What does it mean? I don't know right now, but Vamar basically stood up on it and said by this, either he said this verbally or he said by this, Anihu shegiliti sitraich livnei adam. I am the one who revealed your secrets to the children of man. It says, Galui ve'adua, and then Yonatan ben Uziel begins to speak, I guess. It is revealed and known before you, before your divine throne, before the throne of the infinite God, whatever this even means. Shelo lichvodi asiti, I didn't do this for my honor. Velo lichvod beit abba, I didn't do this for my father's honor, either for his father or the father referring to your teacher. So he didn't do this for Hillel's honor. Ela lichvodecha asiti, rather I did it only for your honor, the Hashem, the infinite being that generates the world and creates everything and created the Aleph-Bet and gave the Torahs with the same Aleph-Bet that the whole world is built with and coded with and spoken into existence with. I only did it for your honor, Hashem, shelo yirbu machlokot b'Yisrael, so that there shouldn't be increasing in divisions and splits and fights and factions and sects in Yisrael, in the nation of Israel. There shouldn't be any more conflicts amongst our people. That's why Yonatan ben Uziel is doing it, for the honor of God, and so that there should be no more fighting amongst Israel. It's destroying the world because Israel's supposed to be the remnant who are preserving the truth on earth. And if, God forbid, Israel is falling, who is going to preserve the truth in the world? Although God always ensures the righteous individuals throughout time, and then the other good individuals who rise to the occasion. But obviously ideal is like everyone. We realize what we're here to do, and we're all here to help each other. So there should be no more fights in Israel. Okay, so that's what he did. Thank God. Ve'od bikesh legalot, and he also desired to reveal the Targum of Ketuvim. Even more, Nevi'im is half and half, and Ketuvim is entirely cryptic, to reveal the most cryptic parts by Yonatan ben Uziel from the last. But what happened? Yatzta bat kol ve'amra lo dayeka. Went out this daughter of a voice, this heavenly echo, ve'amra lo dayeka. Dai lecha. Enough for you. The Hebrew word dai means enough. And the reason why, because it's 14, and we have 14 segments on our 5 fingers, and when we say dai, we're literally putting up the hand as if saying dai, 14, enough. The universal stop sign. Because that hand is communicating, and this is what it's communicating. It's communicating the Hebrew word dai, which is 14. Okay, as we said, which means enough, and saying enough for you. Meaning, for you've already contributed this amazing thing. I guess let someone else shine. I don't know if this is what this is saying, but why would it stop him? Why would it not be revealed? But the student asked that question. Why would it not let Yonatan ben Uziel write the Targum of Ketuvim, or transmit the Targum of Ketuvim? Mai ta'ama, what is the reason? Mishum T.M.E.S.F.E.B Ketz Mashiach, because included yesh bo Ketz Mashiach. Inside it is the secret of the final moment, because it's not really a date. It's not like a set date and it's going to come by this date, although we do have a set era where change is going to happen no matter what, but we could always bring the good world we want today if we listen to God's voice, as the sages transmit. So they're saying there is like the moment where Mashiach will arrive, the sequence of events that reveal how Mashiach's going to arrive, or what, or when possibly will happen based on the signs and whatever, but it's hidden cryptically within the books of Daniel. So if you look in a Tanakh, there's no Targum for the book of Daniel, and there's no Targum for the book of Ezra. Somehow, I guess we'll learn that Rav Yosef Sagi Nahor, too much light, revealed the Targum of Ketuvim. Yonatan ben Uziel wasn't allowed to reveal it on that level, I guess, if it was too much, but I mean, I can't tell the difference. Rav Yosef's Targum is incredible. I can't even imagine if there's beyond that, but basically Rav Yosef, was the one to ensure that Targum. So it said enough for you, and because hidden within there is the final time of when Mashiach is supposed to arrive. And Ketz is 1,000 gematria, Elef, it's like completing the 999 cycle. See Rabbi Joel David Bax, like the 99 steps to lead to 1,000. All the work that went into the final next phase, kind of, to lead into the next phase. So thank God that we have the Targum of Ketuvim as well. Rav Yosef then transmits the Targum of Ketuvim. It's not written down here, but that is what we see in the manuscript and in the Megillah Esther that you could download as well. Check out our video and the links in the description. Okay? And so because there is hidden within there is that final time, and that must be kept secret. And so he was not given permission for that, but thank God that we still have it, because Rabbi Yosef, the master of Targum, is going to guide us and walk us through the book of Ketuvim. Otherwise, if Nevi'im is impossible to understand certain parts, Ketuvim is the most entirely cryptic. So that's what we'll see. And that is we'll get into this source coming up, where Rav Yosef then says, what is the reason? Why was there an earthquake when the Targum of Nevi'im was written, but not a earthquake when the Targum of the Torah was given? We'll get into that in the next thing. Thank you so much for watching. Any comments, questions, let us know. And all the best.